Heavy Conversation is sponsored by DXL Big and Tall, who have declared that January is Big and Tall month. To celebrate big guys everywhere, they're sharing customer stories and showing off photos that highlight their big and tall style. The best part, you can get in on this. Whether you're a single guy who works in an office or a married father of 5 who's getting out there in the elements every day, DXL wants to get to know you. Head over to DXL.com right now to share your story and your most awesome DXL look. Tell them a little about yourself and what you're wearing, and you might just end up getting featured. Now, if that's not enough, DXL is giving away a $500 gift card every Friday during Big and Tall month. Head over to their Instagram at DestinationXL for full details. Now, $500 can go a long way towards some new looks, so get in on the giveaway while you can. Celebrate Big and Tall month with DXL throughout the month of January. Learn more at DXL.com.
This is Heavy Conversation with Bruce and Jody, a podcast where we talk about being a big guy in today's world. I'm Bruce. And I'm Jody. Here we go.
All right, here we go. All right, here we go.
What's up, Bruce?
Top of the afternoon, Jody. How's it going?
Oh, top of the afternoon.
Yes.
It's going well.
Good.
Got some, got the coffee going through my system and
Well, yeah.
got another busy day.
Yeah. We, my kids started school this week, and so we're kind of just doing that, running the gauntlet there and getting back into the swing of things with all that. We did a quick mini vacation trip to Las Vegas a couple weeks ago and brought back COVID. So went through all that.
Oh, really?
And
Oh.
yes. Yeah. So our oldest had COVID. And so we had to kind of, stay home and stay masked and all that. And so now that's done. But I will
at least
say,
you got that done before
totally before school
started, and then
yes. And
hopefully
after
that
the
won't happen
vacation.
again.
Right. So it's good. I feel like we had a really good summer, ready for fall kind of kicking in. And it feels like, this is, if you're doing anything that has to do with e-commerce or, clothing or selling stuff or any of that, this is when the busy season begins, basically.
Yep. Getting it all planned and dialed in.
Yeah. So
We're trying to get a plan together as usual, but
it's hard. It's hard to just like sit down, take that time and go, okay, this is what I need to do to strategize. And that has always been an issue for me. And definitely in the last, 4 years, whatever, it's, it's been that much more difficult. And that kind of stuff is kind of, it builds and it becomes difficult to manage sometimes.
Well,
And
there's just so many variables, and then it's like, oh, I made all this plan, and then, well, I guess we're not actually doing any of that plan because this thing didn't happen. So now,
right.
you always got to have some sort of plan, but then also be able to just sort of be flexible and
Yeah, totally.
whatever happens kind of happens. And I don't love that when that happens, but
yeah, you just kind of go with it and you hope for the best. And that can work. I think for me, I feel like I've done that for a while now, and that on top of just life stuff kind of adding up, and it's made it more difficult to get things done. And I definitely found that to be an issue, and it kind of came to a head really earlier this year. I mean, it kind of just like had been building for a while, and so I didn't feel like I was being very effective across the board, and having losing people in your life and dealing with everything else that the world throws at you is it can be a lot. And so
for sure.
I actually talked to my doctor and started looking at taking some medication to help with some of that.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And so that's in a very special episode of Heavy Conversation.
Gonna get
That's
deep,
what we're going to
y'all.
talk a little bit about today. I thought it might be interesting, actually you brought this up since we've been talking about it,
Yeah, yeah.
brought up
Off
talking about
camera or
this.
whatever. Yeah, you've been
Right.
sharing with me what's going on, and I think we might have talked about struggles with, you know, focus and getting things done, and
Depression and
all that kind of
anxiety.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And, it just, for me, I think, it has, being able to focus and being able to really just, get something done has, especially over the last few years, has been difficult. And you start to have things happen that amp all of that up. And so I just felt like, I needed some help. You can't do it all on your own.
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
so I talked to my doctor, and so for the last I don't know, month and a half, something like that, I've been taking some medicine for anxiety, and a little bit for depression, and a few other things, and it just it's really making a difference. And it's funny because it's something that I stayed away from for a long time. I think
Mm-hmm.
early on, not recently, but I think when I was younger and I thought about it, it was it felt a lot more like taboo to, or a
Mm-hmm.
lot more like a failing to, have to take something to
For sure.
help out. And I mean, I was totally wrong, and obviously I realized that over time. And um it this has been one of the best things that I've done for myself in a long time.
That's
My
awesome.
There's a focus and clarity that's here that I haven't had in a while. And um there's always been a lot of anxiety that I've dealt with, and I
Mm-hmm.
guess until recently I didn't realize that that's actually what it
Yeah,
was.
that's what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that
It's I mean, I feel like I have it too, but it's like such a normal thing for for yourself, because it's like this is my everyday thing. So doesn't everyone feel this way? Isn't
totally.
this just a normal part of
Aren't we supposed
you
to feel this way?
aren't we, isn't this what we just do? And you're
Yeah,
like, well, no, not, maybe a
that's the
little bit, but not where it
that's
just
the
sort
thing.
of takes over and stops you from doing things. And yeah.
Right, that's the thing. And so those things build up to a point where it doesn't feel like you're functioning well, and like you're not able to get things done the way that you need to. And
Hmm.
so I just didn't feel like I could continue that route. And I also didn't felt like there was nothing to lose by
Yeah.
trying something and trying to get some help. And so um it has made a big difference. I definitely have more focus. There's a lot more clarity. I can see where things that normally bring me a lot of anxiety, that would kind of shut me down a little bit,
Yeah.
are not there anymore. And so I'm able to just go, okay, let's do it and let's get it done. Or I'm able to push forward on a lot of things that I hadn't been able to. And to be clear, it has this has really hit me hard over the last couple of years, since my mom passed. And then things that happened this year where it was a similar kind of thing. I've lost a couple of people that were really close and really important to me. And
Hmm.
um that stuff adds up. And then you've got the worldwide pandemic that we all went through and had to deal with, that definitely leaves a mark. And all this stuff, and there are so many things that kind of just came together to like the perfect storm of crap, basically. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I
so
definitely feel like, and it's weird because it's like, is it like this long COVID thing that's affecting me or more people, or is it just like after having been so stressed out and end of the world for so long, like your body is just like on edge
right.
more, or yeah, it's just like, so it's such a weird mixture of different things that have happened to everyone, and different things that have happened to people. It's like,
Sure.
is this the thing that's making it, or is it this, or like,
Right.
or am I just noticing it more after, yeah.
Yeah, and it was easy to kind of for me, it was easy to kind of feel like I'm going through the motions. Does any of this stuff matter? After
Mhm,
all this
mhm.
stuff that we've gone through and that I've gone through personally, what's really important, what matters. And so um I don't know that I would call this a reset, but it's like a way to kind of look at things, to step away from myself and kind of see some of those barriers and some of those things that were blockers for me, and to work through it. And so it's definitely made a difference, and I'm really seeing that. And man, I have a renewed energy for getting things done and just being, more focused and more in the moment. Um, and things that I would normally put off, I'm not putting off.
Mhm.
One thing I mentioned to you before, uh, I was working on a project and I had to go to Home Depot, and I'm driving to Home Depot, which is always busy. It's never not. There's always
Mhm,
cars
mhm.
there, and so normally I'm looking for a parking space that's very close, and all that. But as I was driving up, my first thought was, I should probably just park in the back. I could use the walk, and so it's like, okay, so something's happening here
Yeah, my
that,
mind is thinking a
yes,
little differently, and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And so I don't know, man. It's just like, I just feel like those things where, those times where anxiety would hit me. What if I can't do this? What if it's not good? What if,
Mhm,
what if, what
mhm.
if those things are just not there? And I feel like just moving forward and, um, trying is a lot easier. So
Mhm.
yeah, so I'm really kind of just going with it and just focusing on this. And I wish that I would have done it if I knew how effective
Right.
this was. I would
If
have
I
done it
only knew
earlier.
then what I know
Right.
now, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Have you
Like, I
had
don't.
any sort of, any side effects or anything, that any bad things that, or I don't remember how long you've been taking
uh,
it.
about a month.
Yeah.
I have not. I have not. So far there have not been any side effects, and
Okay.
I don't feel like there will be. I mean,
Good.
um it feels like it's all good at this point. I feel like I'm uh not seeing anything that's causing an issue. I'm
Yeah.
definitely I am, I'm more focused, like I said, and I'm listening. I'm doing better at listening. I'm um just, I don't know about happier. I mean, yes, I guess I'm just a little more
Well,
like
yeah,
leveled out, you
yeah.
know. There aren't those valleys
Mhm.
in the same kind of way. Like, all of that stuff's there. It's not like it takes it away.
Yeah, for
And I
sure.
will say that I did at one point, for like a very short amount of time when I was in my early 20s, I had taken something for uh that I think was for anxiety or depression. I honestly don't remember. It's been
Mhm, mhm.
decades, but it like turned me into a zombie, and
Yeah,
so
I was on a bunch of different antidepressants in my mid-20s, and yeah, it just yeah, it was such a weird
yeah,
sensation. Like, yeah, there was no highs or lows, but I mean, it was good for me at that time to sort of level me out and let me work through some stuff, but
sure.
yeah, I didn't like it the way I
Yeah.
felt because it was zombie-like, and
Right. I
yeah.
couldn't I couldn't get through that, so I stopped taking it and just kind of, never went
Mhm,
back to it.
mhm.
And this is something different. And yeah, I don't feel that different. I just think that anxiety is gone in those
Nice,
lower points. Like, I can see that stuff, and I can see the ways around those things in a way that I couldn't before. And so
mhm,
that's the big difference.
nice.
So yeah, it's definitely made a difference there, and it
Yeah,
just feels like nothing feels so heavy and so difficult, you
that's
know?
good.
Which is,
I
yeah,
I
it's
need
it's
I
def
need some of that.
it's definitely good when
I'm
you're
like, "Break me off a couple of those pills, I need some of that."
for real, when you're, like, running your own business and your responsibilities are in front of
Yep.
you, whatever it is. I mean, hell, wouldn't matter what I'm doing. I think just having something like this to kinda help has been good.
Yeah.
So,
I get a
um
little nervous after having one bad with my blood pressure having some bad side effects, I get real
Sure.
nervous about changing or starting something new now, because I was like, that hit me
Yeah.
so hard and so bad. I was like, oh God, any little thing. Tell me now what the side effects are. So
Right.
I don't want those. Let's try something
Yeah.
else, please.
Yeah. I was definitely, I was a little apprehensive about how I was going to feel and what side effects I would see. And I mean, there's been nothing. So
Nice, nice. Knock
it
on
has
wood.
been, yeah, very surprising. So,
Very nice.
um, yeah. Yeah. So I think maybe we could take a break because there is one side effect, positive side effect is
Okay.
like, I've been a lot more like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like I'm a lot more into things and engaged. And so
Okay.
even like music, I'm just like, it just it hits harder and
Yeah.
I'm more into it and I can feel it again. It kind of reminds me of when I was a teenager and I
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
listened to music and it was just so like
Yeah. You feel all the
everything. It was
yeah, yeah.
everything. Yeah. It's not quite that at 43 years old,
Mm-hmm,
but
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
that ballpark and I can feel some of that. And so I don't know, man. I'm really digging it. And so it's that helps. That just helps in
Yeah,
general.
I think everyone needs a little help every once in a while, and it's
Yes.
good to reach out and find whatever. If it's medication, then go that route. If it's
Sure.
whatever it is, yeah, I think it's very important for all of us to reach out and get a little extra help, a little support, whatever it is. I know
Yeah.
I'm very encouraged by the things that you have been saying about it, so I'm like, okay, that's on my list of a few other things for the doctor when I go in there here
Awesome.
soon. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. Um yes, I have thoughts on that as far as like, what are the steps you should take and what should you consider, but before we go to that,
Hmm.
I really want to talk about this beer that is
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
it is the final beer in the beer fridge, which means it's about
Ooh.
time for a trip to the store. But I saved this, which I'm hoping is the best, at least for me, as far as labels go. This one is phenomenal. So there is a brewery in Anchorage called Anchorage Brewing Company, and
Ooh.
they
They
have
really
the
went for it with that name.
they really did. They really did. They have the best labels. Like they are the artist that does them is like
What
does
the
some crazy, it's like sci-fi and kind of
And I was like,
some
what?
of it's like horror stuff. And I mean they really stand out and they're really cool. And I think if you're a beer connoisseur, you've probably seen some of their cans out there. And they just do some really, really cool stuff. And so um this
It's
beer
funny they
is
don't even
from
have that artist or
yeah,
that can on the untapped thing here, but
yeah, so this beer is called Smile More, as far as I can tell.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yep, it's called Smile More, and it's an IPA, DDH with Phantasm powder,
I know,
and
I'm like, what
Sabro,
the heck?
yes, Sabro hops. Uh, and so the artwork on this, I'll try to describe this, but you've really got to see it to get the full
Mm-hmm.
uh
Mm-hmm.
understanding of this. And it's basically like it's a robot that has like a scarf and a jacket on, and it has like feminine hair, but the face of the robot is like this pink reddish cross kind of thing, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like cut into the metal. It's insane. It looks so cool. It totally looks like something from a comic book or from
Mm-hmm.
some kind of like sci-fi sort of thing. And it's awesome. And so the artist who did this, they're called Massive Face, and you can find their work at massivefaceart.com. And so they've done a bunch of crazy stuff. And um I'm looking at some of the other cans now. They've got like some of these different beers. They've got like Looking Out for You is the name of one of the beers, and it's got like it seems to do a lot of stuff with like there's some different kind of skulls. And I
Okay.
mean the artwork is so detailed. They're limited edition beers, and brewery stuff. So I don't know. Looks like he's also done some stuff for Square Enix, the video game company.
Oh,
Yeah, Black Sabbath, all kinds of stuff. I mean, this work is insane. It's so cool. Like, I don't even care at this point if the beer is good or not, because these cans,
the can is what it's all about. Sometimes
yes,
that is how
yep,
I pick the beer. It's like, oh, this one has a really crazy, and I think a lot of brewers are realizing that sometimes that there are so
yep,
many options you don't know what to pick, so you're picking by the label. So
right.
I'm judging the can by the cover.
Yes, and so this has phantasm powder in it, which I don't know a ton about, but I
I
have
don't know any of
read
this
a
stuff.
little. It's one of the most unique and hard to get ingredients in the market today. Um, it is an extraction made from Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc grapes. So, um, if you add it correctly to a fermenting beer, it can unlock into strong tropical fruit aromas. So I've talked enough. I got to try this to see. I don't know what we're going to expect here.
So it says it's just an IPA, so
Uh-huh.
nothing. DDH with phantasm powder.
Oh, that's good. Ooh, man. It uh, there's like this grapey flavor that kind of comes in at the end. Like, it's very smooth.
Okay.
Um, this is not this is not the kind of like bitter IPA that's gonna hit you in the face.
Mm-hmm.
It's very smooth, it's very flavorful. It actually tastes a lot like something that you would get on tap, if that makes sense. You know how it's kind of got
Mm-hmm.
that fresh. Um, this is really good, like surprisingly good.
Nice.
Thank you, Phantasm Powder. It is 6.5%.
Ooh.
And yeah, so I'm very excited to try a lot of other Anchorage Brewing Company beers now.
Yeah.
So there we
Um,
go.
I am also cleaning out my little beer fridge here in the office, and I have a Pacifico.
Mm. Hey, you can't
Uh,
go wrong. You can't go
yeah,
wrong.
everyone knows Pacifico, I'm sure.
Yes.
Had it. I know I've had it. I'm sure I've had it on the show, but
Oh, sure. It's a classic. You can't go wrong. Yeah.
so I'll
Yeah.
have a little bit of this today.
Yes.
Um, it's just a Mexican lager. Nothing, nothing too crazy. Crisp, citrusy.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I need to go on a little beer run one of these days too. Oh,
Yep.
picture time. Hold on.
It's
Hold
picture
on.
time.
Mm.
Yes. If you are interested in our beers, we get pictures and we have a list. uh,
Okay. Thanks.
yeah, we have a list up on Untapped, and you can find the Heavy Conversation beer list. It is in the show notes of each episode, so you can check it out. You can see what Jody has enjoyed and what I have enjoyed, and these will be on that list. So yeah, check it out. I man, I really like this. This is actually very very flavorful. So yeah, as far as other things, with being on medication like this, I think, I mean, I don't know, just feeling like I'm being more proactive in general has made a big difference. So, um, I'm really enjoying that, and I'm trying to really lean into it and get a lot of things done that I have needed to get done or that have brought me anxiety, or uh, I'm sure you've done the same, where you have these lists of things that you need to do, and they're old lists and they've been sitting there
Oh
forever.
yeah, there's post-it notes all over my desk under my paperwork of things I should have done already.
I'm basically going through everything and just like wiping it all, unless there's something that's really important or makes a lot of sense that I should follow up on. I'm wiping it all and kind of starting over, because it just feels like after a certain point, if something's there and you're not doing it, what's the
Mm-hmm.
what's the use in
Mm-hmm.
having it, staring at you, and so yeah, it's just trying to take this like big mess of stuff and clean it up and just do better, so that's kind of where I'm at. And I think, if you are on the fence about trying something, or if you feel like you're in a place where you're not feeling as you're dealing with anxiety, you're dealing with something else, and you just don't feel like you're focused or whatever, if you need some kind of help, don't hesitate to reach out, talk to a doctor, talk to a friend, whatever, family, whoever is in your life. And you talk to your doctor, and if you've got a good doctor, then they can help you, at least try something that might work. And that's really kind of where it's at. It's like, it's easy to just stay where we're at and not, but then you're stuck as that. For me, it was just that ball of anxiety and just being like, ugh, just feeling like I wasn't.
Well, and then you get anxiety
forward.
about even trying to talk about it too. So
Totally. Yes. But taking that step, it's almost always with things where if you take that step and you do that thing, then you feel better, and then you see some kind of positive result from that. So, that's, I definitely think you should talk to somebody and just kind of see if, they can point you in the right direction, if they can help you out, and give it a try. I definitely felt like, for me, I felt like after a couple weeks, I was like, okay, this is working. This feels better. I feel clearer. And I think that
takes a little time to figure out which one's right for you. You might have to change it up, or get a completely different one, or get different doses. Like, it takes a little bit, but definitely stick with it. Don't get get too frustrated with trying to find the right balance that works for you.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to be honest and talk to your healthcare provider about whatever, where you're at and what's going on and what you're thinking. And that was another thing for me, that it was just kind of difficult to be like, okay, I'm going to open up, and these are the things I'm feeling. Here's what's going on. And, I think over past episodes, thinking about the things that I've talked about, that stuff has always kind of been there.
Yep.
And I try to compartmentalize it. And I don't know that I was doing it in a way that was really helpful. And, it just kind of helps you, at least for me, I feel like it's helping me kind of process, in addition to just clearing things for me and letting me get more done. And it's not just like work stuff, it's also just life stuff,
Yeah.
So, it's kind of across the board, just being able to do all of that and go. So,
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely
excited for you.
Thanks. Yeah. Definitely worth looking into, and kind of figuring out what works for you. So, highly recommend.
Definitely. Yeah, let us know what's working for you. If you've been struggling a little bit, let us know if there's something new that you're trying that's helping you out to, work through some depression or some anxiety or whatever. Or reach out and let us know if you maybe we'll try to find a couple of resources and put them in the notes for you to check out. There's lots of online or virtual therapy places too, and
absolutely,
lots of options to get help these days.
Yep Well worth it. So
awesome.
Yes.
Well, thanks for sharing. I appreciate you sharing that with us all.
Absolutely.
Shared a little bit here and there with me, so
and maybe I can check back in after a bit more time and just kind of see where things are at. But it feels good, and I'm got a lot to do, but I feel like I can handle it. So
nice.
There we go.
All right. Well, thanks everybody.
All right. Thank you.
Next time. Bye.
Till next time.
Thanks for listening to Heavy Conversation. Be sure to like and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.